That's a really good question. And I have to tell you that I just finished recording the audiobook, and there's only 3 times that I cried during the recording. And one of the times, and I have to say it was a little bit unexpected, was when I started talking about Peter. It just was like tears just burst out of my eyes unexpectedly. And I think that's because I don't know. I don't know what happened to his son. And that's a bit of a difficult situation for me because, as you know from reading the book, I really had a close connection with him and really wanted to be a part of his life. And it was a big reason why it was especially hard for me to leave that very toxic relationship. So a very tough question to answer because I actually cannot tell you what happened to him in the end. And I have no contact whatsoever with him or his mother, or Klaus. So so that's a bit of a tough one to answer.
Yeah, because at one point, I think in the book, you also, if I'm remembering correctly, didn't she connect with you at one point?
She did, actually. I had been in connection with her when I lived in India with Peter and Klaus, because I really felt that need to be that conduit for the child and the mother, and casual small things. And then it wasn't until I left that she did reach out to me again and wanted to have more of a conversation, not just a little note here and there. And that was also a difficult time because I really wanted to share with her exactly what I saw and what was happening. And yet in the very beginning, when she reached out right after I had left India and was in Singapore, I gave an honest answer, but it was a more of a vague answer. I think at that time I was also just trying to find a way to disconnect myself from the situation. And then she wrote me again when I was back in America visiting friends, actually while I was sitting with my friend Jessica, and wanted to know what was really happening there. And it was a very heartfelt moment, actually, because Jessica, being a mom herself, I just happened to look at my email while I was sitting with her and read this, and she knew obviously the depths of my despair with what was happening with Klaus, and not wanting to be in touch and not wanting to give him another reason to come after me or to be involved in that. And she just looked at me and said, I really would like for you to reach out to her and share with her, coming from a mother, how important this is. And while I knew that, it was the nudge that I needed to just say, yeah, I'm gonna put this little guy's safety above my fear of Klaus. And that is oftentimes what happens in these types of relationships, is that it's the fear that holds us in place in situations that, our logical mind can say, well, that, just get out, just leave, just this, just that. But when you're emotionally entangled and karmically entangled with people, that it's really hard sometimes to break through that fear. And so, yeah, I did reach out to her, and I haven't heard from her since. So I hope that she was able to, continue to have him in her life and perhaps get him back full time. And that my intention would be, and my hope would be that he's living a good life, I hope. Yeah. Thanks for that question, though, because it is a tough one. And I think a lot of times we do stay in relationships because of, lots of different people that are in the relationships with us. And so it is one of the things that can hold us back, and it pulls on our heartstrings. So that's a great question.